Hello my beautiful amazing movie freaks, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, there will be spoilers, but if that does not bother you, let's go ahead and jump into my review of Hocus Pocus 2. So, have my trusty notes here. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, I do look down a lot. Because my thoughts come out so quickly, I write them down and then I go back and check them out, and they just come back to me. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. So Hocus Pocus came out this year, 2022, on Disney Plus. It runs an hour and 43 minutes and is rated PG. It is directed by Anne Fletcher, written by Jen Olangelo, David Krishner. It stars Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy, and Sarah Jessica Parker, Whitney Peak, Melissa Escobedo, Lilia Buckingham, among others. So basically what this is about, it's about two young women accidentally bring back the Sanderson sisters to modern day Salem and must figure out how to stop the child-hungry witches from wreaking havoc on the world. So we begin with a pan over of water hovering over a bird. The bird then flies over Salem, 1653. Young Winnie, played by Taylor Henderson, is pushing through people, getting them out of her way, and she's clearly upset. She busts into the house to find Mary, which is Nina Kitchen, and Sarah, which is Juju Journey Brenner, surprising her for her birthday, her 16th birthday. Winnie is upset that she is getting older and she's old enough to marry. And the Reverend actually wants her to marry John Pritchett, which she doesn't want to. She refuses to marry anyone but Billy Butcher, whom she shared a kiss with in the forest. So, due to the reluctancy, Reverend Tass banishes her two sisters, but not her, from Salem. Spiders then attack the Reverend and the townspeople, and the three sisters run and hide in the Forbidden Woods. So they hear Sarah's song from the very first movie, the Come Little Children, and all of a sudden the bird turns into a beautiful witch. They converse. She smells Winnie and says, "You're different like other children that I have eaten." And because it is her 16th birthday, she gives her the book on one condition, that she does not do one particular spell. She promises book that she will never do that spell. Then we get the title card, Hocus Pocus, and present day Salem. We have the bird, not the bird, I'm sorry. We have the pan over and we focus in on Becca, which is played by Whitney Peck. She's riding her bike to school and she meets up with her friend Izzy, who is played by Melissa Escobedo. Halloween is on her birthday, and every year her and Izzy do witchy things. They go do a seance in the woods. Will you stop? Gosh. Cassie approaches, and she's played by Lilia, I think it's Lilia Buckingham. There is some type of tension there, and we do assume that they used to be friends but are no longer friends. Maybe they had like some type of falling out. After school they walk through Salem, which has turned into like a Scream Fest carnival. Cassie's family dates back to the Salem witch trials. Mayor Task is her father, and he is just bubbly. He loves Halloween, and he's excited about getting his candy apple. He asks Becca and Izzy to run some papers to the magic shop. which was the Sandersons' old cottage. We then meet Gilbert the Great. That sounded like great. Gilbert the Great, who owns the shop now. He is telling the tale of the Sanderson sisters and how there were sightings of it 29 years ago, which was, of course, the very first movie. Becca and Izzy are regulars in the shop, so because it's her birthday, Gilbert gives her a candle that she can use in her seance. Give me that. Thank you. This is what my dog brings me. Gosh. Where was I? For her birthday. So, they head to the forest for their ritual and light the candle, which then sparks and goes out and then turns to black. They try to blow out the candle, but, you know, it turns black, and all of a sudden they hear Sarah's song again, and the ground shakes, winds begin, and the earth opens up. It goes pitch black, and then we hear lightning, and the Sanderson sisters appear. We're back. So they come out, and Winnie smacks Mary, shifting her crooked smile to the other side. And they begin to sing, and they call for, well, Winnie calls for her Book, but Book does not come because he is locked up. So I'm going to stop there, and we'll go over a few things. To say I was excited about this film is an understatement. Like, it was just, I've been waiting for this forever. Hocus Pocus holds a special place in my heart. It has been around in my family forever since it came out. As I mentioned in my last video, this is one of the movies that we would all watch in the living room with the surround sound. So I always remember this movie and Nightmare Before Christmas. So when there were rumors, I mean, there were rumors coming out for years, but when I finally saw that it was in pre-production, I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. I was like, I hope they don't ruin this. I hope it's everything that I expect, everything that the first one is, and more. So, when it did come out, finally, I was super excited, and I couldn't wait for the trailer. As you know, I did do a couple videos on some updates of what was going on with it in pre-production or during production, so you guys can check those out as well. So I'm gonna start with the young Sanderson sisters. I had so much fun with this first part of the movie. I absolutely loved Taylor Henderson. I thought she did an amazing job portraying Winnie. She cracked me up. I just thought she was so cute, and her facial expressions, everything was just great. She was the highlight for me, and she stood out most in the movie. I loved how they went into their childhood, because, you know, in the first movie they just got into their adulthood. They never explain why they're afraid to get old so they can be young and beautiful. That's the only thing that they say. And I really like the fact, I love backstories. If you guys have watched my videos, I love backstories. Like, I love Harry Potter because it has so much of a backstory, and I love learning about the character later on. So that made me really happy to see that. So it has a lot of comedy. It has a lot more comedy than the first one, and I feel like it was more comedic than serious like the first one. You know, there was a real urgency to save the town in the original, but on this one it didn't seem that urgent. So I want to talk about a couple inconsistencies that I noticed. One, they didn't know what salt was. They didn't I mean, they didn't seem surprised that their magic didn't work against Becca when she did cast, I don't know if it's technically a spell, when she did cast at Winnie. And in the first one, she knew right away, when Allison spread the salt around, she automatically knew that it was going to have effect on him. And in this one, it seemed kind of weird to me. We do get Billy Butcherson back in this film, but I was a little disappointed because his accent was way different. It didn't even seem like it was him in the beginning, so I didn't like that. Now, there's spoilers going to be coming up, okay, so just be aware that if you haven't seen it, pause this, go watch it, and then come back. So, Gilbert the Great is actually the reason that the Sanderson sisters came back. 29 years ago in the first film, I'm assuming that the bullies that were stealing everybody's candy, you know, ice and such, they stole his candy when he was younger because he doesn't mention it. And he was on his way home or moping or whatever, and he sees the Sanderson sisters go across the sky. He follows them, and he ultimately sees the Sanderson system's demise. And it does show that in the film, and like a little flashback. And he became obsessed after that. So he kind of used Becca as a pawn. I do feel like that the girls had no chemistry between them. I didn't believe that they were friends. I kind of felt like they were acquaintances. They weren't friends, like best friends. I would have liked to see more character building for them. Instead, they're just thrown in the movie and we don't really know anything about them, and we're expected to know about them. And I didn't like that. I like when they go into detail about the character, kind of their past. These kids, you don't see their parents. Like, there's nothing. The only parent that you do see is that of Tass, but it just seemed kind of weird that they didn't have that. There's not a lot of magic or spookiness in this film, and it doesn't feel like it's Halloween like the first one. Like, the first one oozes Halloween, and this one I didn't even feel like it was Halloween except for the Scream Fest. Yeah, grab it. I didn't even feel like it was Halloween, which I did not like. Now, I would absolutely love to see a prequel for this. I absolutely loved the beginning of this movie. Like, it was probably my favorite part of the whole movie. If they do a Hocus Pocus 3, that's what we need. So with all that being said, I give Hocus Pocus 2 3 witches brooms. The reason that I did give it so much was because it is my childhood favorite, and it did have some elements more good than bad, but overall it was a good movie. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I did. My kids enjoyed it. They laughed. That's all that matters to me, is that they laughed, and they liked it. So the movie that I'm most excited to see is The Curse of Bridge Hollow, which I'll put a picture of it right here, and I'll link the trailer down below as always. That one comes out on the 14th of this month. It looks so cute. So cute. I feel like it's just gonna ooze that Halloween vibe. So make sure you check out the trailer down below. Also, if you like this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up so I can know and YouTube can know that you do like it. Also, subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.